Now, Storm Tracker 9 weather with Chief Meteorologist Justin Stapleton.
Single digits to start off our Tuesday morning, better than the -2 that we saw early Monday and the -10 that was on the board for the southern Willamette Valley as we started off to finish our weekend on Sunday. But still, unusually cold weather continues to keep its grip across the state of Oregon, and that has kept the temperatures sitting in the 20s and even into the low 30s today. The one spots that are starting to warm up, seeing a bit of a moderation of this air mass, is out to the coast, where the lows this morning were in the upper 20s to low 30s. You say, well, that's a pretty cold stay. It's true, but it's not as cold as it was over the last couple of days, meaning that we're starting to see a bit of a change in the weather forecast. Now, this is aided here, these very, very low temperatures across the central southern valley, because of the 7 to 8 inches of snow that we received on Friday, and a lot of that is still left over. Some of it's packed down, most of it is ice across the roadways, and so that is going to continue to sort of refrigerate our air close to the ground here, which may come into play when the next storm system gets close to us on Thursday's forecast. I'll break down what the trouble might be with that in just a second. First, our Storm Tracker 9 live radar sweep is showing winds generally coming out of the west and northwest above the surface here. We're still under the influence of that big area of high pressure that's sitting way offshore. And we did bring a little bit of moisture on through from this disturbance that brought some light freezing drizzle along the north coast, but all it did for us here across the region was basically just cloud things up through the late afternoon. So we'll keep some of that cloud cover around, might actually keep those temperatures up just a few degrees than where we originally would have been overnight tonight. That's going to keep us at around 17 to 19 degrees in Corvallis and Eugene. Again, we should be in the mid-20s for overnight lows in spots. It has been well below that and will likely stay that way over the at least next 24 hours. 32 degrees, Coos Bay, North Bend will be at around 26 down towards Roseburg. Freezing fog, likely an issue again in the morning. So we did get up to 32 degrees today, and briefly, like less than an hour, between about 2:30 and 3:30, then quickly back down into the 20s for the official reporting gauge out at the airport. Overnight lows there as well, around 8 degrees downtown, so reporting stations anywhere from around 10 to 12 degrees, sitting in the mid-20s for current temperatures right now. Highs across the state finally got above freezing in Portland, 30 in Corvallis, 32 in Roseburg, mid-40s out to the coast, upper 40s in Brookings. So we're starting to see a bit of a change to the winds out to the coast. Still icy cold, teens and low 20s as you get back off towards the eastern end of the state. And right now across Eugene and Springfield, we're at 22 degrees. You can see mostly clear skies on our sky cam there. Light winds to calm winds and humidity about 96%. So likely we'll be dealing with some freezing fog as well. 21 in Corvallis and Bend, 27 in Cottage Grove, 29 as you get towards Roseburg. Still above freezing in both Newport and North Bend, and likely Florence as well. We're having an error at the reporting station. So here's the setup over the next couple of days. Icy cold air mass sitting on top of the Pacific Northwest, courtesy of this big area of high pressure. Jet stream goes up, grabs onto that cold, dry air, sends it southward. But we're starting to see that high break down just a bit or flatten out in response to this area of low pressure that's developed and a cold front starting to bring in more of a southerly flow. Now, on our stormcast, you really see over the next 36 hours, we start to get the winds above the surface to pick up out of the south and southwest. While that'll keep the air mass warmer above the surface, at the surface here in the valley, we're going to stay very cold because of that refrigerated air. The problem is this front slides through, bringing in rain. That rain may hit this frozen ground and start off as some freezing rain or ice before it all switches out. And I think that cold air is going to be very, very stubborn, so that may be an issue for us here in the valley mid-afternoon into early evening. So we'll go mostly sunny, turning cloudy. Coast will see the rain tomorrow evening. No problems with that, or excuse me, Thursday, I should say. Morning fog, partly sunny skies in the UMPQUA for tomorrow with temperatures just above freezing. Same thing at both of the passes. Temperatures there will be in the upper 30s. Mostly sunny skies out in central Oregon with the temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. And sitting just right around freezing for tomorrow. We'll likely sit between 29 and 30, I think. A little more cloud cover could keep us a tad cooler than what we saw today. Otherwise, it's showers back in the forecast for the coast at low 50s. A little more typical weather for this time of year. The UMPQUA finally gets above freezing by tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, and overnight lows get back into the 30s as well as we approach the weekend. In the Cascades, about 1 to 3 inches of accumulation Thursday night into Friday, a little bit higher than that as you get to the ski resorts and temperatures back into the 30s. And for us here, we're going to stay icy tomorrow morning, and I think the freezing rain will keep things icy. And again, it won't be there all day, but it could be a quick batch of it. And all you need is a good heavy shower of some freezing rain, and you're talking some accumulating ice across the region. That snow is there, it's still there, and it's not going anywhere, and it's going to take a little while for it to kind of wash out.
Boy, it's been a heck of a weekend. It's only Tuesday.
It sure has. Let's look